Hi, welcome to the SDP. I'm Kevin, the happy hipster.
僕はイチゴ、アニメの京都ホストだ。
This was not supposed to happen. On the week of Tuesday, the 18th of September 2012, a song sung entirely in Korean had achieved the #1 spot on the United States iTunes Store. Concurrently, that same song had also peaked at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts, and I have conferred rumors that the song in question has also been played on American Top 40 radio. Did I mention that on the 24th of November, it also became the most watched video on YouTube of all time, beating the record held by Justin Bieber for 2 years? I'm not saying this shouldn't happen, it's just that since America's entertainment industries have grown self-sufficient over the years, any attempt by foreign media to make a break on our shores will get swept away by the natural forces of marketing. And I'm not a fan of that either. I want us to play nicely with the rest of the world. And yet, this is not unprecedented.
You might be familiar with 99 Luftballons from the West German band Nena. Although they wrote both German and English versions, only the German version charted in America, peaking at #2 in 1984. でも、僕は坂本九の曲、上を向いて歩こうを存じる。このは昭和38年に Billboard の週間ランキング第1位を獲得。Unfortunately, we know it as Sukiyaki. That's a rant for another day.
So, what song could have performed such an improbable feat? Find out after this. Cut the music, I'll spoil it for you. It's Gangnam Style by Psy, and it's the subject of this week's review. Before I begin this review proper, you may be wondering how Gangnam Style could have possibly caught the attention of us Yanks. I'll get to that in a minute, but first, why a Korean song? Time for a history lesson, because that's what I do best.
君だけ失速してる?
That, and I want my fans to learn something. So, before you can interrupt me, let's begin. Our story starts after the Korean War. While South Korea has always had it better than its neighboring to the north, for about 3 decades after Syngman Rhee, it was ruled by a series of capitalist military dictatorships. They may have committed their share of human rights atrocities, but the West turned a blind eye to them because, well, they weren't North Korea.
Not exactly our finest hour.
But all that changed in 1987 when a series of public protests installed a true democracy, just in time for the Summer Olympics in Seoul the following year. Epic win. So if South Korea finally opened up to the world stage, the popular culture of the West joined the party. In terms of music, the big revolution was brought on by Taiji So. Originally from the heavy metal band Sinawe, in 1992 he formed a new group, So Taiji and Boys, and with them became the first Korean artist to incorporate the hip-hop and dance genres, thus giving birth to K-pop as we know it today. Subashi koide-ya! Don't thank me, thank the Pump It Up games. In recent years, a phenomenon known as the Korean Wave has generated worldwide awareness of K-pop music and Korean TV dramas, but it had yet to break into the American mainstream. So why this song? Gangnam Style, and in particular its music video, seemed tailor-made to attract the attention of the mainstream American consumer. Specifically, the song seems to have been taken bits from other of our dance pop songs of recent. The most prevalent influence is Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO. In particular, the forcefully sung bridge which breaks up the rapping of the verses and segues into a bleepy bloopy hook. Speaking of which, I for one keep confusing the bass track from the hook with the one that starts off Blow by Kesha. And the rhythm scheme of the raps within the verses reminds me of Fergalicious by Fergie. The video, at least from a purely visual standpoint, seems tailor-made for American audiences, almost to parody levels. Excessive wind with tiny bits of paper thrown about? Check. Random explosion in the background? Check. Gratuitous close-up of a woman's curvy hindquarters? Check. During a yoga session, no less. But why is he yelling at it? And a parking garage? Elevator? Pelvic thrust? What? Toilet? Because... funny? Yeah, I think they went down the parody route on this one. And let's not forget the dance that the video is making popular even as I record this. Basically, most of its motions evoke riding an imaginary horse. And yes, someone has tied it into Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yeah, that's not funny. My opinion is that the thing looks maybe just a tad dorky, and the illustration depicting it on the singles cover do not dissuade me from that prejudice. But it's not a deal breaker, and besides, it's better than the last time someone tried to make a dance craze go viral, or for that matter, the last time a song got famous through the internet. But let's not kid ourselves, content alone doesn't count for much when you're hunting for fame. You have to get recognized. The song's music video received retweets and other buzz from celebrities including Robbie Williams, T-Pain, Tom Cruise, Katy freaking Perry, and last but not least Britney Spears, whose attention led to Psy making an appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres talk show.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
But Gangnam Style means a lot more to its intended audience of South Koreans. Of course, context being 9/10 of the law, you wouldn't get any of that if you didn't speak Korean. And lacking that, all you have to go by are the music video and the performance given by Psy. And judging by the tone of voice, he sounds kinda snobby. Like he thinks he can use his alleged swag and the power of expensive alcohol to capture the attention of some skanky woman in the club, who's already somebody else's girlfriend, and then spend the rest of the night filled with freaky, off-the-wall sex. Or worse. Actually, no, I just made that up. Thank Glob. Ichi goes on tap to explain what the heck Gangnam Style means. そして、短い地理授業です。コナンは、それの地区であり、具体的には、その文化やファッションが中心。Ah, yes, just like Shibuya in Tokyo, Beverly Hills in Los Angeles, Soho in London, and... gosh, does Philadelphia have one worth mentioning? Old City, maybe? コナンは世界で最も高価な不動産を持っています。これらのハイステークスでは外観が全てだ。ドンジャンニョの少女は公共の場で彼らの可処分所得を誇示するが、彼らの私生活に捧げる。Hey, wait a minute. You're Japanese, not Korean. How do you know so much about Seoul? 研究を行った。どうよな。Yeah, listen. I don't want people thinking that all Asian cultures are joined at the hip. If, for some reason, AKB48 or some such shows up in the Hot 100, I'll give you a call, but for now, I'm going to take this one solo. Back to the song. Rather than make any comment explicitly disparaging or even endorsing this lifestyle, it's merely used as a metaphor in order to pick up chicks, as exemplified in the first verse. 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자 So basically, Psy is saying to his romantic prey that she knows when to restrain herself and when to act wild, and that he is capable of the same. I'll tell you one thing, it's nice that America still hasn't managed to export its permissive views on sexuality within popular culture elsewhere. Further dispelment of the machismo that we Americans have come to expect from the dating game may be found in other lines such as this. Or, don't get me wrong, I'm nowhere near opposed to fan service of the female variety, but there are some times when it's just not sensible, you know? And that those shallow ideals of beauty, for both sexes, are so heavily promoted in our media only means that those who do not conform to those strict guidelines are left out in the cold when it comes to the dating game. And I'm thinking, that's gotta stop. One last thing. I found a decree from the International Songwriters Conference in 1992 which states that all popular music originating from an East Asian country must include at least one word or phrase of a Western language, preferably English. Let me check. Well, that's just meaningless enough to fill the law. But Gangnam Style works on so many levels. On its surface, it's just another one of those dance pop songs that has been clogging our charts for the past few years, although arguably less obnoxious, as anyone who's listened to Pitbull can admit. attest to. But to those of us who have experience with the Korean language and the culture of Seoul, or those of us, myself included, who simply do the research on the song itself, it becomes so much more. It may not be setting out to fix the social inequalities which exist in and around Gangnam, but such works are referenced tastefully and provide a cute context for a let's pick up chicks kind of song. That the rest of the world managed to take notice of it is a tribute to the positive power of the internet. And I, for one, welcome our new Asian overlords. Gangnam Style scores a 3 out of 5, a C. Just kidding, I know he's going to be a one-hit wonder in America. This is Kevin with Ichigo, and you are the Resistance. I don't always ask for subscribers, but when I do, nandalu nanalo mahada. Stay thirsty, my friends.